Hey my friend, this is Darnell Clarke, your industry leader in this career game. Hey, the answer man. Hey, today's topic is how do you become great at your career? And why would you even want to be great at your career? If you don't know me, I am an ex-professional baseball player. I blew my knee out. I had to go back to school, get my computer science degree and MBA, and went into the marketplace. And in 20 years in the marketplace in IT, I'm at the pinnacle of my career, at the mountaintop, and I hated what I was doing. Something was wrong. I didn't know what was wrong. I thought I was just crazy. How in the world that I don't like my jobs? Then I started looking back on my career. I had over 25 jobs in my career. I only liked one when I was working for IBM doing the Olympic Games. I should have known then my ability to pursue a career in sports. That's what I should have been doing, because that's what I truly love. I love sports. But I didn't. I just kept moving forward, going up the ladder, going up the mountaintop in IT. Then I'm at the pinnacle of my career, making more money than I ever made in my whole entire life. All right, now what type of money are you talking about? $225 an hour. Add that sucker up, man. We're talking about $300,000-$400,000. And I walked away from that. I hated that job. And as I started wondering, coming off the mountaintop, I'm like, okay, what's wrong? Here, my wife working for IBM for decades, and she loved what she do, but not me. I kept going from job to job to job. Why was I leaving jobs so much? See, we were created for a purpose, a passion, a chief aim in life, our one thing, our life's mission, our personal legend. Our personal legend is what God created us to do. That is our only obligation in life. And so here I am going from job to job, hating everything I do, every job I had. Something was wrong with me. So I started reading all the books. I started going to the workshop. I talked to my pastor. I started talking to other people. I got information from here. I got information from there. Then I found the solution. I found why I was not happy at every job. Listen, if you don't engage the purpose that God created you to do, you will never be happy at your job. I don't care what money will only give you a temporary happiness. True satisfaction and happiness does not come from money. It comes from mastering your profession and engaging your life task. And when I recognized that, I started realizing, all right, if that's not the case, then what is the case? Then I created a philosophy of greatness. Yeah, that's what it is. A philosophy of greatness. In the beginning, I called it my career philosophy. No, it is a philosophy of greatness. What is your philosophy of greatness, Darnell? Listen, you cannot be great at what you do until you first master it. All right, so what is mastery? And what is greatness? Greatness is the ability to excel at your chosen profession better than everybody else, period. Excel at it. You are the best at what you do. You cannot be the best at what you do at work until you first master your job. All right, so what is mastery? Mastery is an all-inclusive body of knowledge proficiency at your job. Did you get that? A all-inclusive body of knowledge proficiency at your job. You cannot excel at work until you have an all-exclusive proficiency at your job, and you won't be able to have a all-inclusive proficiency of knowledge at your job until you first start loving what you do. That's what I did. I never loved what I do. See, you can't be great at work unless you truly love what you do. All you would ever be was average, and I was tired of being average. You and I were not made to be average. Not for a second. So if I was playing baseball, I didn't become a baseball player and then said to myself, you know what? I'm going to be the best average second base in the country. When I went to the University of Nebraska, my goal was to be the best second baseman in the country. Right? Second baseman in the country. I didn't say, I'm going to be the best average person, average second baseman in the country. But when we go to work, we have never talked about being great at what we do. We never. So you can't be great at what you do until you first master it. You cannot master your job until you first love it. You would never love your job until you first start liking it. That's right. Just like you got a spouse, a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, you love them. You would never love that person until you first start liking them. And you would never like that person until you connected to your strengths, right? Connected to what you like. So you would never like your job until you first become good at it. You would never become good at your job until it first connects to your strengths. And you would never connect it to your strengths until you find your one thing, and you will never find your one thing until you discover your purpose. All right, so now that's the philosophy. So now let's step into it. I want you to visualize yourself step into this philosophy, because this is the goose that laid the golden egg. If you can identify and understand this philosophy, you will never have to be worried about getting downsized, fired, laid off ever again, because you will be the best at what you do. And if they do fire you or let you off, lay you off, it's because the whole organization is going down. No. So visualize this. Now, I'm going to take you from the bottom up. Step into this philosophy, because this is where it changed my life. See, until you discover your purpose, your passion, your chief aim in life, your one thing, we created for one thing, for a purpose. If you don't discover your purpose, you will never discover your one thing. Ah, Darnell, you can do more than one thing. No. Nick Saban from the University of Alabama, Roll Tide, baby. They are at the pinnacle of college football. The national championship goes through Tuscaloosa, Alabama each and every year. Yes, sir, baby. Why? Because Nick Saban went to Kent State, became a football coach. His father was a football coach. Recognized right away he couldn't get to the NFL. He decided to be a football coach. Now he's in his mid-60s. He is the best college football coach in the land. No program is like University of Alabama. He decided that he was going to be a football coach, and for the next 30, 40, 50 years, he did one thing. He might have had different jobs in that one thing, in that one industry, but he had one thing. Just imagine you decided to be something at 20 years old, in your 20s, and now you're in your 30s and your 40s and your 50s, and you're still doing that one thing. Just imagine how great you would be at your job in that career if you were doing it for the past 20, 30, 40 years. We are supposed to find our one thing. We should be Nick Saban the heck out of our careers. That's right. So you can be like the Alabama Crimson Tide, Roll Tide, baby. Listen, we are supposed to find that one thing. He discovered what his purpose was. He stepped into his one thing. When he stepped into his one thing, it connected to his strength. He was always naturally a football coach from his dad. And now he found his one thing. When he found his one thing, he stepped into his one thing. He did it so much, it connected to his strengths. What are your strengths? Strengths are near perfect activities that you do all the time, that you do it time in, time out. You do it over and over and over and over, and you have to have some satisfaction and joy from it. From that strength, when you discover your strength, then you start liking stuff. You can only start liking stuff if it connects to your strength. Once you start liking it, you do it more and more, you become good at it. Once you become good at it, you do it so well, you become good at it, you start liking it, that like turns into love. Once you start loving your job, it connects to your mastery and all-inclusive body of knowledge, because you've been in there long enough to know everything. You are to Nick Saban the heck out of your career and love what you do. And from that love comes mastery. Nick Saban started as a regular coach. Then he started being a defensive back coach. And then from a defensive back coach, he became a defensive coordinator. Then from a defensive coordinator, he became an assistant coach. Then he got his first job at, I forgot what school. Then he got his other job at Michigan State. He took Michigan State to the Big Ten championship. Then he left Michigan State, went to LSU. He took LSU to the national championship and won. Then he went to Miami, didn't like Miami, recognized his purpose, his passion wasn't professional. He went back to college, and that's when he went to the Alabama Crimson Tide, and he's been kicking butt, taking name ever since. Every program is trying to figure out how to beat Alabama. every blue chip person, every blue chip athlete out there want to go to Alabama. Because I know if I go to Alabama, I'm going to the league. First, second round, for sure. So that's what he did. That's what you were supposed to do. He connected to his strength. His strength connected to what he liked. He started loving what he do. He became good at it. He started mastering his profession. And when he became a coach, he mastered it. And from that mastery came greatness. He is the best college coach in the land, Nick Saban. I'm telling you right here, my friend, if you want to step into your greatness, understand this philosophy of greatness, and Nick Saban the heck out of your career. Stay where you are supposed to be and engage it. That's right, my friend. So there you go. I gave you the philosophy to greatness, the goose, the leg, the golden leg. And if you can step into it, man, you will never have to be worried about getting fired, downside, laid off ever again. You will pursue the job that you truly love, and you will never, ever have to be worried about another, and you'll be employable forever. So this is Darnell Clarke, your industry leader in this career game. I got one thing for you since you stayed to the end. I have a blueprint called the 7 Steps to Getting Employed Faster. See, gone are the days you can just shoot your resume into dark on Monster Career Builders and Indeed and expect somebody to find you. That game is over. Remember this phrase, people hire people. You got to get your resume in front of people using the referral process. That 7-step process called a blueprint will do it. Go down into the description area, click on that link, you'll get it. You could download it and you could do whatever you want with it. I promise you, if you step through it, you'll get employed faster. So there you go, my friend. Step into your greatness by this philosophy. This is Darnell Clarke, your industry leader in his career game, the answer man, saying, hey, if you want to be great, go for it. I'll see you in the next video. Later.